Hi, this is Rachel Kraft. I'm with App Crafters and here with Brad Heath at Johnson Fitness. We're looking at the Horizon machines right now, and this is all for reviews on www.treadmill-ratings-reviews.com. So the model that we want to look at right now is called the Elite T7. And the previous videos, if you took a look at those, was the Adventure series. We had the Adventure 3 and then the Adventure 5. And these are really good if you're going to be doing walking or some jogging or some light running. But when we move into the Elite series, we're really looking at a running treadmill. So if you're the person who wants to train for your half marathon or your marathon, this is a much better option for you for several reasons. Several reasons why it's better for a runner. So the first thing we want to look at, it does have feather light folding, and this is going to be really convenient in your house for space saving measures. You can vacuum underneath it, so that's really nice to have that folding technology here, but it also gives us a chance to look at the frame underneath. This is the Adventure 5 that Brad was just talking about in the last video, and I want you to take a look at the frame down here and notice that it is different from the Elite series. First off, the Adventure 5 is not going to have a support bar right here in the front, and it's operating on a pin pivot point for the deck to go up and down. And also all of these supports back here are not going to be quite as thick. Moving over into the Elite series, you have a much sturdier frame. Here in the front, you have that extra support beam, and then you have much stronger support back here as well. So the entire thing is really built for that impact that you would have when you're doing a lot of heavy running on that machine. Okay, so all we're going to do here is press this with our foot, give it a little start, and then step back and let it do the rest. You don't have to kind of support it on its way down. You just let it go. And you know, as we mentioned before, that's really nice, just so you don't have it come crashing down on top of you, and you can just let it come down slowly and safely. Okay, so the machine itself, like we said, it's very good for runners. We have a 20-inch width on this and then 60 inches from front to back. So this machine is going to be really nice for someone who is a little bit taller and then has a long running stride, as opposed to some of the other models with a shorter deck. When you look at the deck itself, the deck is a multi-density fiber board, and it's double coated. And what this means is that deck itself is going to have a low friction with the belt that's going over top of it, so that just prevents wear. And then the belt itself, this is the good part, the belt itself is called an infinity belt. And what that means is that the belt has been impregnated with wax, so it's virtually no maintenance. You're not going to have to deal with the coating of your belt wearing off and having to switch out the belt every so many thousands of miles that you're running. It's good to go. The folks here at Johnson Fitness actually tested it up to 21,000 miles. At that point, they just got sick of testing it, so they moved on. But you know, 21,000 miles, it's going to last you quite a good amount of time. The motor on this Elite T7 is a Johnson drive system motor. It is a digital drive system, and the nice thing about that type of motor is it's got very large magnets, so it's very powerful. It's going to be able to run at a lower RPM. That means it's going to run cooler. It's not going to need all those extra fans that some of the competition models need. And it's also going to be quiet. It's nice not to have a motor that kind of overtakes your household. One person can be running in one room and the person in the next room over can be reading without having to have, you know, this huge machine running in the background. So the Elite T7, when you look at the actual display on here, it's a very large, nicely backlit blue display, 8.5 inches across, and it comes with a couple really cool features that we're going to go through right now. First off, walking up to this, you're going to see some of the standard things. You have the grips right here for your heart rate. You have the safety clip that you can hook onto your clothing in case you take a tumble, prevent injury. And then this is actually a nice little gizmo that they include. This is a polar heart rate band that you can put onto your body. This is actually about $50 if you were to go out and buy it in the store by itself. But with this treadmill, it comes along with it. So that's a nice savings there. And what you do with this, ladies, if you have a sports bra, you can just put it underneath the back, the underband of that. Or gentlemen, there's a strap included. And as you're wearing this during your workout, it's going to be consistently taking your heart rate. And that just allows you to kind of monitor your progress, make sure you're pushing it hard enough but not going too hard. So this is a nice feature. It tends to be more accurate than having to grip onto the hand grips here. Okay, so the machine has 42 programs that are going to be included. That's going to include manual 9-calorie programs, 12 distance programs, 4 interval programs, 3 performance, 10-step, and 2 custom. So once you are ready to actually start working on your treadmill, you've started it up. It's pretty simple. All you're going to do is boot it up. Set your speed. You have the numbers up here, so if I wanted to go 2, 0, I'd go 2 miles an hour, hit my set speed, and then I'm ready to go. Now if I wanted to increase the speed, it's just a matter of, again, pressing those buttons, 3, 0, set speed, and I'm going a little faster. So what I'm going to do right now is something we call the key test. If you've ever been in a gym and had a machine that was shaking all over the place, you feel like you're a giant shaking the world because your keys are rattling. So I'm going to show you how smooth this machine is. Here are my card keys. There's the tub. I'm going to go up to 6, get a nice little run. You'll hear me out of breath in a moment. Let's watch the machine. Yeah, so this machine, it's not moving. It's really nice and comfortable. Okay, so let's bring it down. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to hit pause. Now, the reason I showed you that, it's helpful to actually see a machine going, not just kind of looking at it stationary. So my keys weren't shaking. It was really nice and steady. The machine feels very, very solid. I think one of the biggest contributors to the stability of the machine is the variable cushioning within the deck. So let's take a look at the deck for a second. It's like a runner's shoe. So when you have your shoe on, the very back of your shoe is going to have a lot of cushioning. So that's going to absorb that impact when you take your step. The middle has a medium amount of cushioning, and then the front has less cushioning, so you have something firm to push off with. So the deck of this machine is built in a similar manner. The front up here, really squishy. It absorbs that impact when you step down. Then you have the medium, and then you have a firm place to push off from. So when you're running, the machine's not shaking all over the place. It feels steady, it feels firm, it feels comfortable. And I don't know about you, I used to run cross country when I was in high school. I used to get horrible shin splints. They were awful. And I noticed that when I was running on a treadmill, just the way that the treadmill was with my body, it would aggravate those shin splints even more. So I think that this is a really great option if you have problems like that and you're looking for a machine that's comfortable to run on and not jarring your body with every step. This variable cushioning that all of these Johnson Fitness models have, the Horizon treadmills, it's really, really nice. Okay, so last thing we want to go over with this machine is we want to talk about the fact that it has a couple kind of, I don't know if you want to call them bells or whistles, but just cool things in here. The first thing here is it can actually be a bit of a safety hazard at times if you have your phone, and let's say you just had your phone here, or your iPod or your iPod Nano, whatever, and you had your earphones hooked up to it. Maybe you don't, you just want to listen to some music, but you don't really want to have it strapped to your body. Now that can be dangerous because as you're running, suddenly that cord going from your phone up to your ears gets snagged by your hand, and then your $500 phone just got crashed onto the ground. So it can be a pain, you can trip over it, just not a good situation all around. So the solution to that is going to be to simply hook your phone into the treadmill itself. So there's a cable right here, and then I'm going to plug it in right here, nice and easy. I turn my phone on, I select my music, and then I hook my earphones into the second port right here, and then I have my music playing. And the nice thing about this is if I snag that cord with my hand while I'm running, my phone is completely safe. My iPod is really safe. I'm not damaging that technology, and just better all around. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to get the earbuds ripped out of my ears, but I think I can survive that. So that's one really nice feature. Let's say you don't want the earphones. Phone is hooked up. Well, now we just have speakers directly on the treadmill itself, so I can have the music playing directly to me from the treadmill. The next thing that's really nice about this treadmill right here is a USB cable an input for USB. This is going to relate to a feature of the Elite T7 and of the other Horizon models called Passport. I'm sorry, it was escaping me for a moment. But Passport is a really neat feature where you can actually have a big screen TV in front of you with some sort of cool course that you're running through. So you're running through a path on the mountains, or you're running through the Italian countryside, and say there's a big hill on the course, the virtual course that you're running, the treadmill is actually going to respond and the incline is going to increase. So it feels like you're going up the hill, and then you get to the top and things level out, and then the treadmill comes back down all by itself. So that's a feature that you can purchase the additional Passport. It's not built into the machine. We're going to look at a model later that has the Passport built directly into the machine, so you can see it on your screen. But for this one, you would see it on the TV in front of you. The other neat feature of this particular model is something called ViaFit. And definitely check out the video that we're going to have for ViaFit to learn all the details. But I'll give you a bit of an overview. Let's say you use Map My Run. Let's say you use MyFitnessPal. Let's say you're tracking your calories, or you're traveling for work and you're on other machines all the time, in the hotel gym. Or let's say you're just on your treadmill here at home. You want a way to integrate all of that information, all of that fitness data into one spot so you can keep track of it. And that way you can make sure that you're reaching your goals. And let's face it, if you are keeping track of all of those things, it's a lot more motivating for you to actually continue to make healthy choices. So ViaFit is a solution to that Johnson Fitness came up with. And basically what it is your treadmill is going to be connected through Wi-Fi to the cloud server. And the ViaFit application can either be on your phone or your tablet, or you could access it directly online. And all of that information from each of those different applications that I just mentioned gets funneled into one place. Let's say that you're on that treadmill in the hotel that I was talking about. That's a little bit of a trickier solution there, because if you're on the stranger's treadmill, how are you going to get that data to your ViaFit? Well, it's actually pretty easy. There's a technology within the ViaFit called X Capture, and all you're going to do is finish your workout on this strange treadmill. It's not this one, it's one at a hotel, and you're going to have all your stats up on the board, and all you do, take a picture, just like Snapchat kind of, same kind of idea, upload it. Well, it's automatically going to be in the ViaFit application in your phone, and the technology is going to recognize all of the data that you have on there. So it's going to say, oh, you ran 3 miles in such and such a time, and you burned this many calories. Put it automatically into your profile. So ViaFit is definitely a really neat system, something that honestly impressed us here. Brad and I weren't expecting to be so impressed by it, but they sold us. It's a really cool program, really, really neat. So this is the Elite T7 Horizon model, and we're at Johnson Fitness. And if you'd like to learn more or see other videos, especially about that ViaFit, check out the website at www.treadmill-ratings-reviews.com. Thank you.